Welcome to ProbateData coaching call. It is Monday, September 27th. A few days left to finish off the quarter strong and roll right into Q4 of this 2021 with strength and with vigor and with momentum, right? We're going to finish this one strong and roll into the fourth one strong. Meaning lots of activity, lots of listings, and lots of executives and administrators that we can help. So let's see, anyone new here today? Anyone new, brand new to ProbateData? This is your first week of ProbateData or just your first time on one of these calls that we have every Monday. Just go ahead and put in the chat, say I'm brand new. If you're feeling new to this, even though you've been with us for years, okay, just be honest about that. Say, hey, I would like to get my learning hat on. Let's see here. All right. Taryn Cafiero. All right, Taryn, where are you joining us from? Taryn Cafiero, from where? Go and put that in the chat. Welcome, Taryn. Laura's second time here. It's been a while since I was last here from Orlando. And so we have two Floridians. Welcome, guys. Happy to have you here. So let me just give you guys those who are new, like a bit of an overview of what this is and how it works. So every Monday we have these calls that last about 30 minutes. It used to be called the ProbateData Power Gen, which now we're just calling them the coaching calls. And that's where we basically go into a specific area of probate data, probate real estate, probate leads. We don't really go into techniques of like objection handling, what to say, scripts, letters, writing, all that. It's more focused. I'm more of a strategy guy. I'm the guy who built ProbateData, and also the guy who's responsible for ProbateData's relaunch here coming October. So I basically will answer questions around technology, strategy, how-tos, or like what's the best way, how do I get started, what's my first step, stuff like that. So that's what we cover here in these calls. And today what we're going to do is we're going to do a open forum call, which means you can ask me anything, right? And for those who are new, you can always go to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/ProbateData. I just put it in there. I'm going to get the actual URL links for you guys to see it. And that will show you our past calls and some of our training videos. And also we've broken it into based on broken it down based on like subject. So if you go there, get familiar with it, I'll give you an overview of how this works. We'll watch the videos and things like that. So here's the actual link for our Floridians and anyone else who wants to use it. So excited to have you guys here. So this is an open forum today. You can ask any question, put in the chat, anything related to probate real estate, the technology, probate data, where are my leads, when am I getting my next email, what do I do first, how do I use this thing, anything you want to ask. You guys run this call. Anything you want to ask. And I'm a little sip here while you guys think about your questions. Go ahead, Nikki. I know I can count on you. Go ahead, unmute yourself.
Hi.
Hey.
Happy Monday, everybody. My question is this. I have a new recruit. She's coming to, she just got her real estate license, and she's coming to meet with my team leader Wednesday, this coming Wednesday. Can I allow her to assist me with this?
Yeah, sure. Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Like, what do you want her to do for you?
Well, I would like her to help me to prospect, but what I don't know is she's not a C-Press. Does she have to be a C-Press to speak to the personal representatives?
No, she has to be a licensed real estate agent, but she doesn't have to be C-Press, right? You can let her watch all the courses. You already passed your test, but she can't get certified. If she wants to get certified, she'll have to take the course herself, obviously, and
okay,
put that in her name. But look, if you want her to help out and make some calls, then it would be helpful if she just watched the course and took notes, and you teach her a few things, have her watch some videos, and then just let her just shadow you for a week or two when she sees you on the phone doing what you do, and then let her loose. Let her go out there and prospect for you. That's a great idea. I like it.
okay.
Yeah, go for it.
And how do I what if she gets a buyer? I mean, a seller. Is that her seller or is it my seller?
That's
Or
between you two to figure out.
between
I
us
can't
to
get
figure
involved in
out?
that. Yeah, that's
Oh,
between
okay.
you and her and how you set
Okay.
the agreement with your team leader and your
Uh,
broker, right?
okay.
I was a junior agent for a commercial real estate for almost a year. And
Uh-huh.
I made like four to 500 calls a week. I got a big list and it was pretty old school. I didn't know about all the dialers and mojo dials and all that. So I hit the phone hard and I was dialing. I just wanted to get experience. And I had a senior broker who guided me a little bit. And then I had an office manager who was kind of helping me with like the overall business strategies, like how much money do you want to make? I said, I want to make this much. He goes, you're going to make this many listings, this many this many appointments, this many set appointments, this many listings, escrow, blah, blah. He gave me the whole breakdown, right? And he goes, that means you got to make about 400 calls a week. I said, okay, I can do that. But the deal was like whatever I would get, whatever listing I would get, I would have to go out there with my senior broker. We'd have to sit there in a listing presentation together. And then whatever listing I would get, he would get a handsome cut of that. I think 35%, 40%, whatever it was. And I was okay with that because he was the #1 commercial real estate agent at the time in LA County. So I happily paid my tuition to him, right? That's how I positioned in my head and we got some good action out of it. So whatever you want to set up, that's a question between you and the new recruit and your organization and whatever you want to negotiate. There's not really something that we can help with. Does that
Okay.
make sense?
Yeah, it does. And since you brought up commercial, can I bother you about that too?
You can ask me, sure. I don't know if I can be helpful.
Okay. What if the property is not residential and it's a commercial property?
Yeah, it happens. Sometimes you call on the PR, and as you're chatting with them, you might find out that they're in a gas station down the street, or a small hotel, or a fourplex,
A store, yeah,
or a store, or a strip mall, or something.
yeah.
And then the question is basically, well, are you liquidating? What are you going to do?
Okay.
Right? Just
Same
ask,
thing.
what are you going to do? You can absolutely take the listing for sure.
Okay. All right.
If you're in the door, just ask what else is there besides that's a good question to ask. That besides the home that Mrs. Smith lived in, what other properties does the estate want to liquidate or sell at this time? Oh, we have this one, and you just listen, but we're not sure. Okay, would you like me to do an evaluation on that to help you make a decision, right? So you get your foot in the door with the main property, and then you ask around. You say, well, what other properties are you thinking of selling at this point to help you sell the estate? It's always about them selling the estate and helping them sell the estate. It's not so much about you getting the listing. I mean, it is you getting the listing eventually, but it's about them settling the estate. Shari, you have a comment? Go ahead, Shari. Shari Gapers. We can't hear you, Shari. You're muted. Ask you to unmute. Unmute. No? Okay, maybe she'll come in later. All right, great question, Mickey. Thank you for those questions. Anyone else have any questions? Go ahead. Shari, come ahead. Go ahead. Same thing. CPU acting up. All right. What else? What other kinds of questions do you guys have? Ready to probate real estate, probate data, anything like that? Wow, it's going to be a short class today. No one's got anything, everybody knows what's going on. Everyone knows what they're doing. Everyone's good on how many calls they need to make, on how many conversations they got to have. They're good on sending out letters, following up. They're good on how to find leads, where to find them. They're good on downloading leads. They're good on cleaning leads. They're good on following up. They're good on validating leads. They're good at looking things up on the back end. They're good at looking for historical leads. They're good at looking at PRs. Everyone's good at everything. This is a completely redundant call for him today.
I got a whole lot of questions.
All right, hold on, Nikki.
I'm trying to let somebody else talk.
Patrick Williams saying, would you not have to approach commercial a little different than a single family? Patrick, why don't you unmute yourself and explain that question? I'm curious what you're saying. And Shari will come in next. Patrick Williams, go ahead.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Well, obviously all know that commercial is a little different than residential. So if you're going to, I'm somewhat trained in commercial, but to just approach somebody and not know too much about commercial you could kind of put your foot in your mouth, you know? So you want to have a little bit of a background, and it doesn't require a lot, but a little bit of background in commercial and doing the, the CMA for commercial and things like that.
For sure. There's a whole math formula and the multiple and
Yeah, it's more numbers and then
it's pure numbers. You got to crunch it out. There's a little bit of art and science to it. That's why if you don't feel strong in that, you don't have enough knowledge, you find someone who is in your office, in your network. Remember, MT Education and even here at ProbateData, we always teach your net worth is your network. Your net worth is your network. So let's say Patrick came across a situation where he's sitting with an executor and he asked the key question, well, besides the home of your grandmother, are there any other properties that the estate would like to sell? Well, we're considering this 18-unit apartment building in Los Angeles, in Beverly Hills, in like in Santa Monica, down by the beach. You're like, jing jing, okay, there's something going on there. So instead of saying, well, I don't know commercial real estate, I can't help you with that, you could say, well, let's look into that. I'll bring one of my experts in and we'll get a good evaluation on it. And then you, in your office, somebody brings someone in who knows what they're doing, split the pie up. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that's how we started commercial. We were doing residential and we ran across a couple of commercial properties and sellers said, hey, can you do commercial? And of course we said, yeah. And then we said, yeah, and we stepped up and, fake it until you can make it. And then we just got trained in commercial informally. And then as time went, we got more formally trained in commercial. So it's a bit of a different dog, but I ran across one the other day. The guy had 2 residential properties and then he has a commercial strip mall.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I told him, I said, hey, we can do commercial and probably work out a better deal for you if we do the residential and the commercial.
Yeah. Right on. There you go. All right, let's go to Shari. Shari had a comment and maybe even a question. Go ahead, Shari. Shari. She's playing us all. All right, Laura, you look like you had a question. You had your hand up before, or was that just scratching a hand up?
Well, so I'm very new to this. I've been a realtor for 3 years now, but I've never done probate and, officially have not done probate. I helped with one with a for sale by owner, and I really appreciated and loved the process. And I thought, you know what, the sellers told me how well I did and everything, considering the situation and all. And so that's why I felt, maybe this is a niche I should go after.
Wonderful.
So, being that I am so new to this, what would you say? I'm sure this question's asked a lot, but what would you say as, somebody so new, what is the main thing to, I guess, look out for, do's, don'ts, prospecting, that kind of thing?
Yeah, so a great question. That's one of my favorite questions, right? Especially from someone who's brand new. So thanks for asking that, Laura.
Yeah.
The first thing you want to do is just get your leads, right? So you're getting your leads from us, from ProbateData, whether you're getting them in your email inbox or you decide to go online and dig through our database. Well, your first step is get your leads. And then what you want to do is make sure you kind of clean them up a little bit. You kind of sort them by which ones where you have phone numbers and email addresses. You start contacting them right away. And the general outreach that I think works really well, but every agent is a little different. Some agents like to just mail until the phone rings. And some agents, they like to mail and then make a phone call and then mail a couple more and then make another phone call. And they kind of like on and off. And then some agents don't believe in mails at all. They just want to get someone on the phone because they have great, they have strong phone skills. So it doesn't matter what your preference is. What matters is that you take action, right? Okay. So one mistake you don't want to do is just mail out and then after 3 months say, well, no one's calling me back. Consider the fact that mailers are open maybe 1%, 1.5% of the time. So if your mail doesn't get opened, that means that 10 pieces you send out, you get 1 open, maybe 2, right? So if you send 100 out, maybe maybe 15 to 20 get sent out, get open, right? No, that's even less. Hold on, for 100 pieces that get sent out, maybe 2 get open. If it's 1.5 to 2%, yeah, let me get my math straight here. So if you send 100 out, like 1 or 2 of them get open, that doesn't mean they're going to read the whole thing and actually take action. So now you have that going against you too. So the thing with mailers is they have to be simple, they have to stand out. So in the CPRES program, they teach you different ways of doing that. If you're doing postcards, then you got to send something that really catches their attention, maybe something a little bit oversized that really pops out. And then the next thing really is follow up. This is the name of the game, just like any other website game. But here's the numbers that are your favorite, Laura, and everybody else who's on this call. The numbers don't lie, right? So according to NAR, National Association of Realtors, out of all the homeowners across the country, it might vary a little bit by county by county, but on average, 6 to 7% of homeowners will sell within a 12 months period. Maybe now the market's hotter, maybe it's a little bit more, but let's call it 7, or 8 even to be generous. So that's 8 out of 100 homeowners will sell within 12 months. The numbers are different in probate. In probate, you'll see 90% of homes getting sold within 12 months, and the vast majority within 3 months of filing for probate. So you have your numbers going for you there, right? So you're in the market right now where 90% of the homes and the cases will be settled within 12 months. And the vast majority of that, I would say over 90%, if it's like 60 or 70% of them, are going to be settled within about 2-3 months, right? It varies from county to county. But the bottom line here is you want to look at which if I say we're going to go fishing, Laura, and you and I say, well, there's a pond over here where there's 90 fish, and we have a little bit of bait we can throw out, and there's a pond over here where there's 7 fish. And we only have limited time and resources, right? We only have that much bait. That's our time and resources. Like, where would you go fishing? Pond A, pond B. Most likely over here, pond A, right? That's where there's 90 fish in there. We want to go fishing. We want to throw the bait out. And that's what you have going for you. So now the other statistic you want to think about is that 86% of closes in any sales environment, whether you're closing for an appointment or closing for a listing or closing for a lollipop or closing for a Boeing 747, 86% of closes for appointments, anything like that, happen between the 6th and the 12th contact. Between the 6th and the 12th contact. So if you're calling and you're reaching out and you stop after the 4th or 5th contact, that means there's an agent that's not going to stop, and they're going to go past contact number 6, 7, 8, and they're going to have a better chance of getting things done for you before you, right? So my point here is while getting new, fresh leads from ProbateData is a great idea, it's a great strategy. Obviously, keep following up, keep reaching out to those new ones. There's gold. There's absolutely gold in the ones that you already have been approaching. Like, keep following up, keep calling, and have a reason why you're calling them. Right? You mail them something. Make sure you got the mailer. Try different times of the day, different days of the week, different types of phone numbers. Maybe you have an office line, a cell phone, or Google Voice. That's 3 numbers right there. Mix it up a little bit, right?
Okay.
So those are the main. If I had to give you 2 things, like get your leads and reach out to them, and then follow up, right? So if we talk just purely in business terms, right? Every business needs this. It needs marketing and follow up. Marketing and follow up. That's all it is. And if you have a good marketing system that's more or less, not necessarily done for you, but let's just say it's done for you, and you have a follow-up system that's automated, like good CRM or something like that, then all you need to focus on is managing the systems. And now you really have you have a real business, right? Now it's not just you running around with one of these, a phone, and just constantly texting, managing today business, tomorrow business, dealing with escrows and all that. That's part of the business, but that's not the business. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
And I'm sorry if I'm on a tangent here, Laura, but you got me thinking about the whole spectrum.
No, that was perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's see. Should we give Shelly another chance?
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yes. Hallelujah. We got you.
Sorry about that. I just had a comment. What I just wanted to share some marketing ideas that I did.
I have made videos. I've done videos. I had like a professional person come and edit, and I also did videos in front of the courthouse, and just been putting the videos with the tags on like all over my social media. And with the probate data leads, I uploaded them in my line CRM. I sent them an introductory email as well as the video. And 4 people out of the 46 that I started with, because those were like out of state probate leads, they were open. One person unsubscribed, but it was still very hopeful to say I'm just starting with probate in this niche market. And I think that's it's working. So I'm just pretty excited about it. And I just wanted to share videos.
That's great.
And then I have an ISA that's just, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead. No, keep going.
No, I was just gonna say, then I have my ISA this week. We've been going over the scripts, and his only task for this week is just to follow up, as you said, and just ask them, do they need anything? Here are the services that we offer, even if you're not ready to put the home on the market. Just, we're here to help.
Yeah, I love it. And Shari, so ISO stands for Inside Sales Agent. Is that correct?
Yes.
And where do you find someone like that?
Well, this is my cousin. He was with a huge company. That's all he's been doing. But you could find ISAs, because I looked at them. Fiverr has ISAs. Upwork has ISAs. Or you can Google, and not Google, but go into Facebook and just search for ISAs, real estate specific, and you'll see quite a few of them.
Yeah. The reason I'm asking is because I have some thoughts on where I would find ISA for real estate if I was going to go look for them. But I wanted to ask you, like, I like your resources a lot, and it's great that you have a cousin who you can rely on. It's good to get it started that way. I learned this from a really successful EXP realty broker last year, who had a booming business, and he's super successful, and he had some other businesses. He goes, oh yeah, I have these ISAs, and they set a bunch of points for me, went out and got the listings. I go, how do you train them? He goes, oh, that's the easy part. I go, what do you mean? He goes, do you know how many real estate agents are out there that are licensed, but really don't want to go on appointments, or they don't want to do the marketing, they just want to be on the phone and make calls? I go, I didn't know they exist. He goes, oh yeah, just put a message out to your network saying, I'm looking for licensed agents or agents that are retired but still want to be in the game. They still want to, feel like they're in the game. They'd love to make phone calls. So guys, there's 1.3 million agents, 1.3 million licensed agents in the United States, anywhere from 1.3 to 1.4, give or take, depending on how hot the market is, right? And how many of those do you think are actively pursuing real estate? A fraction. This is where the Pareto principle comes in. The Pareto principle, or the 80-20 rule, means 20% of the people get 80% of the results. If you look in your closet, you wear 20% of your clothes 80% of the time, right? If you look at my videos, I wear the same 4 or 5 shirts 80% of the time. Guys, this Pareto principle it works across everything, right? So what this means for you? Like Patrick mentioned, I found it's more competitive and than I anticipated or thought. That's a good comment. That's a really good comment. Like, if you find the space more competitive compared to what, right? If you decide to be in real estate, that means you got to go out there and find people that want to sell or buy real estate and represent them, which means you got to get clients and you got to get listings or pre-qualified buyers, right? So that means you got to do something. And like I said before to Laura, I was like, what is that something? Whatever energy and time and whatever heart you put into your business, it's got to be something that aligns with you and your growth vision, and something that really tickles your heart, makes you feel, man, I just, like Laura said, I don't know why, but I just like the process of going through a probate that I accidentally landed. And now I really want to go all the way in, right? So you lead with that mentality, with that intention, and everything else is going to fall in place. And if you're doing something in a space that you enjoy, then the competition is not an obstacle, but it's something that helps you stay sharp, right? When we have opposition in life and we face opponents, whether the opponents be thoughts or people or events, we get sharper, we get better, we get faster, we get better at our skill set. So it depends. And Patrick, I'm not trying to talk this down that there's not competition. There's probably is, depending what market you're in and how long you've been at it. But the point is like, keep going, keep going, keep going, have fun with it. If you're not having fun with it, then maybe this is not your niche. Maybe you're more into foreclosures or short sales. Like we've had agents here that left ProbateData and left the whole probate space because they like dealing with banks. So I said, go back to foreclosures and deal with asset managers. That's your game. Put on the tie, do your thing, and hit it, go. They're like, oh, is that allowed? I'm like, yeah, man, it's life. It's allowed. You can do whatever you want. Find your niche. There's this saying, riches in the niches, right? There's riches in the niches. So find your niche, and then even within probate, we can find another niche. You know, do you know that deal with like some of the most successful agents? They just pick up like they do maybe 10 listings a year, but they only work with like 50 to 60 cases. They handpick the ones they want, certain zip codes, certain types of. They just figure out a profile and like this is what I want to work with. That's what I love the most. I hear you, Patrick. Good point. Good point. Who's asking, how often do you contact the PR in a week? You're calling and emailing and sending a letter. So Phil, as I said before, it's I would call weekly, right? And if you're just doing calls, I would call maybe twice a week, depending on what kind of contact you got. But if you get someone on the phone, they'll call me in 2 weeks, you call them 1 week. They said, call me in 2 months, you call them in 1 month, you call them in a few weeks. A lot of times you're getting hold of people, it's not convenient. They're writing a will something. And if they just filed, say, a couple of weeks ago, they're still just like, they're getting all the paperwork, they're taking all this, like, what is this, what I have to do, the bills are coming in, people are knocking on the door, like, where's my money, creditors are knocking down the door, beneficiaries are asking what's going on, they're like overwhelmed, and then you're calling them about, you know, whether they change the locks in the property or not, like, I don't have time for that right now, just leave me alone, you know, go away, it's like a bee, right, Psst, go away, right, and the next time you call, they're probably in a better place, you know, not a distraction or a nuisance. So my point to Faye is like, just keep calling them. Letters, if you send out letters, postcards, I think like twice a month, you're good. So if you have a call, letter, postcard, that kind of rhythm. I know one of our more successful agents, Deborah, she has a simple rhythm. She sends 3 mailers, 1 call, 3 mailers, 1 call, 3 mailers, 1 call. And she's the one that does about 10 listings a year. And she only picks about 50 to 60 that she wants to work with. And she just follows up with them until she gets the listing. She won't stop. One time she told a story how she got a call from someone saying, oh, hey, this is so-and-so. You know, I'd like you to, you know, she literally said, I'd like to talk to you about, you know, selling my grandmother's home. And I got your postcard here and it looks interesting. And then that way she looked up her name and in her mind, she was thinking, yeah, this is the 8th postcard that I sent you in the last 4 months. So she's like, yeah, this is only 8th time I'm like, you've been getting a mailer from me. So something, she just keeps at it, right? Like Shari saying, it's a marathon. Is this helpful, Phil, or are you looking for something more specific? Patrick is asking Shari, what kind of costs for your videos? I think what Shari is saying is something as simple as just grab your phone and record it and then put it out there. Or Shari, you can correct me there if I'm wrong.
Yes, I do that. But I went on, I can't remember the name of the site, but I found a videographer that came to my office, and I had my assistant and her husband and their daughter, and we actually did a little mini commercial, and it was $125 to do that.
Oh.
So I'm going to use him. I'm going to use him more often. It's not a huge production, but it's something to get the ball rolling. And I've received a lot of positive feedback with the commercials. I've received a lot. So I'm using that commercial. And like I said, I'm just going to post it. I love doing videos as it is. So I'm just going to continue to post various videos on all my social media, LinkedIn, IG, Facebook. Yeah. And do weekly videos on my, because I have a business, my real estate business page on Facebook and on IG. And then even on my personal Facebook, I post videos. I just did one yesterday.
Yeah.
on my personal, and then I shared it to my business and my IG. But
Yeah.
I just think the videos and them seeing you, you just never know.
Yeah.
I'm just testing different markets, but I just have a really good feeling that we just continue to pound the pavement, it'll come through.
Yeah, I hear you on that, just like in any business. So one thing I want you guys to think of when you hear Shari's talk about doing videos and social media, excuse me. How many of you are thinking right now, man, I should be doing that. I should be doing more Facebook. I should be doing more social media. I should be, I really need to get into that. I should be, and man, what's the strategy? Where do I start? Just raise your hands or put in the chat like, yeah, I'm hearing Charlie and I should be, it could be, should be doing more of that. So Rachel, Patrick's saying yes. Mickey's raising her hand. Laura's saying, was that Laura raised hand? Yeah. Laura says, I do decent. I can work on it more. So here's the thing. I don't want you to feel you're missing out by not doing it. Because if you come from a place of like, I'm missing out, therefore I must do it, you're not coming from a place of service. Okay. Let me say that again. If you see like, well, I need to do this because I feel like I'm missing out. And Charlie, when she speaks about it, she speaks about it from a place of confidence. She's got a little bit of behind her track record. She's got Instagram, Facebook, and some LinkedIn, some up. She's got it going on, right? So when you hear someone speak about that with confidence, it makes you think, like, maybe I should do it, right? But also keep in mind, I'm guessing here, like this is something that Shari's comfortable with. She's done it for a little while. She's even before probate real estate, she did it. And this is just another channel for her to share with the world like what she's up to. So just like you have newsletters, you have your email list, you have your sphere of influence, you know, social media is just another layer. So if you go into social media and you want to put some stuff out there, don't go at it from a place of saying, I need to do it, otherwise I'm missing out. Because then whatever you put out is going to have that virtual commission breath, if you know what I'm talking about. So when you come from a place of like, no, I really like, for example, Laura, like, I really love this. I don't know what it is, but I really love this process, right? And she's going to put something on her personal Facebook or whatever. We have one agent, and I wish I could remember her name. She posts every day on her personal Facebook page. She has about 2,500 followers. It's all local. And she credits her Facebook activity to at least 8 listings in 4 months. And she said, all I do is I take a little snippet out of what I learned from the MTI Education Street Press, and I put a little in front of it. Did you know that blah, 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 blah. And she puts a little photo on there of some sort. Did you know that on average, 95% of Americans don't have fully listed living trust, so therefore we're going to probate, which is she just, did you know this? Did you know that? Little factoids. And she just put something out there amongst her other posts. And she's like, it doesn't take me any time, but it took me some time to get to 2,500 followers. And I told her, this is your social sphere of influence. There's your social media sphere of influence. And then there's that little list of about 50 to 100 people that you built over the years that you keep getting referrals from. So think of social media as a way of doing your sphere of influence with good intention, with the right intention, right? So again, don't feel like you have to do this because you feel like you're missing out. It's like someone, Rachel likes the term commission breath. So, yeah, and Patrick, I don't remember her name. I wish I did, but it's been a little while back. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's see. Any other questions? These calls usually take about half an hour. We're over by about 5-6 minutes. I hope that's okay with you guys. Any last question before we call it a day? I see one raised hand here. Taryn Cafiero. Go ahead. Unmute yourself. Taryn Cafiero. I just saw you had a raised hand. No question. Okay. Maybe it was a high five. Okay. All right, guys. So Mickey, last question to finish it up. Go ahead.
Well, don't forget the social media post that came with the package. There's a lot of social media posts that I've been using since I got it. I've been sharing it on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn and all the other social media platforms that I have that came with the program.
You're referring to
I like
UPLC.
those.
You're referring to UPLC, is that correct?
Yes.
Not everyone here has UPLC, so let me just put the link in there
Oh.
for that.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just gonna put the link in there. So for those of you that UPLC, not everyone has it. If you're brand new, you probably don't have it. But it's
Oh,
like,
okay.
it's a done for you marketing system, a done for you marketing, and done for you follow-up system where we create a website for you and an FAQ section and build a whole profile. We get you select up to 15 different templates, which one you want for your website. And we also author a book in your name, an ebook that talks about the 7 biggest mistakes that PRs make and how to avoid them. And there's like 5 other reports. And then when people opt in for that ebook, we email them for 21 weeks on your behalf with your name, with your email address, so that the follow-up is taken care of. And you also get notified when someone opts in. And part of that whole package, I'm getting to what Mickey's saying, is there's a little package that we put together where there's like different social media posts. You can put different images of like, I do probate real estate now, and this is what we're doing. And so you can post it on your social media. And then we also have articles that we've written in there that you can repurpose as long as you're a member. So for those of you that are curious about it, it's not a must-have. I think it's a must-have for anyone who's been in CPRESS for a little while. But if you're brand new and you kind of want to check it out, mteducation.com/UPLC. And it's only $1,000 a year or $100 a month, whatever suits your budget. But then that takes care of those 2 big components, the marketing and the follow-up, right? You still have to send people to the site. You still have to pay people to opt in, or if you're on the phone with them, you just opt in for them, right? So you still got to drive people somewhere. But what it does, this system helps you stand out. It helps you have something to talk about. So Lord, when you're calling a week through and you're like, hey, I send you the ebook, I send you the report, how to build your team of pros. I'm the one who's sending you these emails every week with value-packed content. It helps them connect the dots, right?
Hey, Jonathan,
Yes, Patrick, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I got distracted. My little, my little pug came in and tried to jump on my lap while you were telling us about that, what that one lady did on Facebook.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll repeat that and then we'll finish it up for today. So this lady, she had her own she had her own real estate Facebook page that she built up over the last year or so.
Right.
And she had 2,500 or so likes or followers. It's probably more now, maybe more like 3,000. And on that page, on her Facebook page, she would post things every day. She would spend 5 to 10 minutes. She'd pick something out of the manual from CPRESS and education, and she would post little factoids like, "Did you know that this?" or "Did you know that? If you know anyone going through probate, I can help," or blah blah blah. Like she just put little random factoids out there, and she found a little picture to match it with, or something that got people's attention. And she didn't get complicated. She didn't make complicated memes. She didn't go to Canva. She didn't hire a designer. She just like put little things out there. And just every day she put a little bit. And she said, I asked her how long she'd been doing it for. She said, well, I've been doing it for about 4 or 5 months. I said, how many listings did you accredit to this activity? She goes, oh, I know exactly how many listings. It's 8. So think about 5. No, I'm not saying you're going to get the same results, right? So I don't want to get angry emails next week saying, I've been doing this and I get any listings. But that's basically what she did. Keep it simple.
Yeah, so like little teasers, huh?
Not even teasers, just helpful information. Like, did you know that 95% of Americans end up going through probate because they don't forward us the living trust? By the way, if you or someone who's going through probate, it can be super tedious and stressful. Let me see if I can help them. Reach out to me.
Got it. Thanks.
Laura, last question. Do you feel it's best to have a dedicated probate business Facebook page or separate from our other pages? I think you could just envelope it into your existing. If you have an existing Facebook page, just leave it in there. Maybe change the header around. Now we do probate, and then start talking about probate in your Facebook page. If you have one for your real estate business already, I don't think you need to do a separate one just for probate. Now, with that being said, if you have the commitment and the willingness to create a Facebook page for petitioners, for executives and administrators, where every day you post something helpful, something useful, or every other day, and you post videos, I mean, you're reaching out to a petitioner's executive. You can say, feel free to visit my Facebook page where I give away free content and free tidbits and da all the time. And the rule there is like you do, 4 or 5 posts of helpful, useful information, and then 1 post is like self-promotion, and then 4 or 5 posts of helpful information, and then 1 is promotion. You could do that. I just started that right now. I have 0 track record, no research on it, but if that idea strikes you as interesting, before we go out and do it, just remember it requires daily input and effort. You really need to think through a content strategy around this. Make sense? All right, folks, that's it for today. I am done. It was so good to see you guys. We'll see you guys next week. I'm gonna post this one from today on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/ProbateData. Until next week, be well, stay safe, and wash those hands.